Hey guys, welcome to my live at lunch today. I wanted to show a fun technique. I was on a team call last week and we were talking about different things and somebody said, "Oh, we should do this." And it's like, and then one of the people on our team said, "Oh, I don't know how to do that." And I said, "Ooh, I have a video for that." And then I went to go look at my old videos and there was no video for that. So I decided today we are going to do masking so that I have a masking video. So there's a couple of different ways you can mask in a shipment. I'm going to make a card using the Will Walrus Be Friends, but I wanted to pull out this card that I got recently. And this is another masking technique that you can use. So what you do is you make a template and you put it over your paper, and then you can either shade outside of the template, so like you put your circle down and shade around it, or you could put down a piece of paper that has a circle hole in it and then shade inside of it, and that creates a perfect shape of your image that you want. So in this case, we're making a setting sun, and then you can stamp something over it. It's gorgeous. I've seen lots of different ways to do it. Back when the beautiful U stamp set was current in the catalog, a lot of people would do like these pretty moonlight ones. So they'd have like this big white moon, and then they'd shade around it in dark blue, and they'd have one of the images on the inside of the moon, so it was like dancing in the moonlight. So that was kind of a fun card to have. But this one you shade on the inside, and I love to do that type of stuff. But today we're going to do some masking where you can stamp one image over another one. And we're going to use some of our little walrus friends. So let me grab my stuff and make sure that I'm in my camera. So I'm sitting back a little ways. Alright, so I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to use Basic Gray. And the first thing I want to do is stamp an image. So, well, let me figure out where I want all of my images. So we're going to do a big walrus guy here, and then another one like right in front of him. So they kind of look like that. So let me stamp my walrus fella. We're going to stamp him kind of in the middle, but towards the bottom of the card. And then I'm going to do something super crazy. I'm going to take a Post-it note, and on the sticky side I am going to stamp again. And I didn't use full strength ink because it doesn't really matter, because this is just going to be a template that we can use. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out my walrus image here. And where I don't want to have additional stamping, we will leave some Post-it note behind. So I'm also stamping around the bird because that's kind of a big image. And I am cutting like right along the outside of the line so that I have all of that. I'm trying not to touch the sticky too much because I do want this to stick to my paper when I'm done. Alright, I'm going to just chop off the top of that so I can maneuver a little better. I was trying to maneuver and it just wasn't going. Alright, so we're going to cut all of this out. When I do masking, I've done masking in a couple of my Class in the Mail kits. So I always try to make sure it's not like crazy detailed images that we have to cut out. And you don't have these itty bitty bits like I'm doing right now, because then it makes it really hard to cut out your Post-it note. Alright, so we're just going to chop that off. Okay, so now we have a duplicate image here. So then all you need to do is line up your image so that it is covered with the Post-it note so that you have a yellow walrus. Alright, so I have some little speckly pieces on here. Alright, now I'm going to take my next image, and what this is going to make it look like is this one is in front of this image. So let me ink up my big walrus guy. And I'm not going to push too hard because I inked up way more than I wanted. And then we're just going to stamp right over this other image. So you'll notice how I went right over the top of the image we just stamped. But that Post-it note took the brunt of that ink. So when I peel away my Post-it note, we now have our one walrus in front of our big walrus who's on his little iceberg. So I have that. And you know, we could even be kind of silly and just put some other floaty walruses in here. So now we've got a couple of those guys in here. I'm going to close up my basic gray. And I've got my Night of Navy, and I'm going to stamp just a fun little sentiment on here. And we'll put it up here, just floating by to say hi. I stamped it in Night of Navy. And then I'm kind of making this up on the fly and working as I go. So let me pull out my watercolor pencils. I'm not going to watercolor, but I am going to use the pencils just to kind of fill in some of these images. So I want my gray. Alright, and we will just color some of these in just lightly, just to kind of give some contrast, because nobody wants just a black and white card, or a gray and white card. That would be kind of boring. I don't know, some of them are stunning when you do it on purpose. I've seen some gorgeous cards, but this one would not be as much fun in black and white. So we'll just color these guys in real quick. But this is a fun, simple, quick way just to add a little extra dimension into your card. Alright, so I will be watching comments on this video on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel. So what I do is I film these videos on Facebook, and then I download it and I save it to YouTube, because I have some customers who do not have Facebook, and I have some family members even who are saying, you know what, I've had enough with Facebook, we're done. And this way I can still reach out to them. Anyway, so I will watch for comments on both platforms, YouTube and Facebook, and pick just a random commenter to receive the completed card. I think we're going to start doing that every Tuesday. So comment away, even if it's just like a hey, how's it going? I'll even answer. I'll comment back. Be like, sup, friend? Alright, so we've got that colored. And then I want I need a yellow. Let me see what yellow I've got in here. It's a Daffodil Delight. Just want to kind of add a little bit in here on his face, just to make that stand out. Then I'm going to go back over it with the gray. fill that in. I realized I didn't color up his nose or his mustache, whatever. I don't know. What is that called? I do not know walrus anatomy. I have been spit on by a walrus before. That was kind of exciting. I went to SeaWorld with my family when I was 17, and we went to the show with a walrus, and the walrus was supposed to spit on the audience, and he just kept spitting on me. He wouldn't spit on anyone else, and the trainer was even like, I don't know why he is just spitting on you. No, it was kind of funny. But, I mean, other than spitting on me, he was a very friendly walrus. So, I am using Pacific Point to color in some of this water. I guess those, and his eyebrows. That's exciting. But that adds just a little more color into the card. Something else, if I really wanted to, I could, you know, mask all of these guys and then like shade all over. But that seems like more than what I would like to accomplish in like a 10-minute video. So I do try to keep these to about 10 minutes because then I can also post them on Pinterest. And if you have not visited my Pinterest board, I highly recommend just sauntering over there sometime and subscribe. That would be awesome. I am trying to get a few more subscribers over there. I did double my subscribers last week. That was really exciting. Actually, I more than doubled, so that was even better. So let's just color some of this in. And then I'm gonna use Balmy Blue on the big iceberg. Sorry, I'm trying to make this nice so you know what you're getting, whoever my random winner is of this card. So there are plenty of websites out there that I have discovered where you can get like a random number generator. So that's probably what I'd use for this one. Be like, oh look, I have 5,000 comments. We're gonna put in a random generated number between 1 and 5,000 and see what comes back, and it'll be like, oh, 648, and whoever was my 648th commenter, I will mail you the card. So if you get an email from me or an IM or something saying, hey, what's your mailing address? I'm not being a creeper. I'm just sending you the card that you won. So we're shading in some of this blue for the water. Alright, so we've got that going on. And then I'm going to do one other weird thing before I stick this to the card base. I'm going to take my basic gray again, and I'm going to make this outside image just a little bit more detailed. So I'm just going to bounce that along, and I'm just coloring the edge of my cardstock. So you can do it right on your ink pad, or you could use a sponge, and then it gets like a cool shadowy effect. But I think I just want like that straight gray color, just that super thin line. Alright, we're going to fold up our card base. I forgot my bone folder. That'll make a nice crease here. And then grab my Stampin' Seal. I'm using Pacific Point for my base. I learned a trick with my Stampin' Seal last weekend. So, because I've been having problems getting it to stay. So if you roll it across and then lean back, you don't have to like roll your little spinny wheel thingy. See, I don't even know the anatomy of my Stampin' Seal. I should probably learn that. That's probably more valuable to me than the anatomy of a walrus. Alright, making sure that I have it opening the right way. And then we're going to stick this onto the card base. I always line up my long side first, and then we have just a fun little flat card with a walrus right in front that we masked. So remember, you would just stamp and then cover, and then you can stamp over that, and then we colored them in. So I hope you enjoyed today's somewhat quick, simple card using our Will Walrus Be Friends stamp set, which is still in the catalog this year. I bought it last year, afraid it was going to go away, and it's stuck around, and I'm so excited because I get to play with it more. But alright, well, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a fabulous Tuesday. We'll talk to you next week. Bye!